Many
Yeah.
people don't, and then
Mhm.
they wait until it actually then, like, really becomes, a disease process or a problem that's harder, to correct. So,
Right.
listening to these little, whispers that our body gives us is very important.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you mentioned briefly, obviously there's different things that can contribute to brain fog, but
Mhm.
let's just talk specifically about hormones. How are the hormones during premenopause and menopause specifically impacting our memory, focus, and mental clarity?
Right. And, this again, as you know, when I work with a woman one on one, I really, of course, I want them to know about hormone therapy. But the first thing I say, well, one of the first things I say is like estrogen and progesterone, our main hormones that we think of for women, are not just reproductive hormones. It's not like, oh, I just need that to have a baby. They are acting literally from top to tail in your body. They have like our whole body all over it. I'm trying to think of like one system that doesn't have it, and I can't think of one that doesn't have receptors for those hormones. And so when we're losing them, we're going to have major impacts all over the body. But so for estrogen in the brain, it's really regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. And those two things are tied to our mood and our focus and our motivation. So, like, that's one piece there. And then progesterone is kind of like the calming hormone in a way. And so it's going to help with sleep. It does help with sleep. Caveat I want to say is women take progesterone and think it's magical for sleep. A lot of them, some women actually have a paradoxical effect and don't feel good with progesterone. But let's just say the people that do, it's funny because they think that it's a sleep thing for them, that they need it. It's actually like sedative to the brain, and so it kind of makes them fall asleep, but estrogen helps you stay asleep through the night, having the right amount of estrogen in your body. But yeah,
Mm.
so and then the other thing with progesterone, it can really help a lot of women with anxiety. So those two things are key, and as those hormones start to like swing up and down during perimenopause, because they kind of like, especially estrogen really fluctuates, but perimenopause, progesterone's typically always just kind of going downhill. And your brain is going to feel those shifts. I mean, these are powerful, powerful elements in your body. It's kind of like a Wi-Fi connection that keeps cutting out. Like you're still kind of connected to it, but the signal's not good. And they just
Mm.
kind of find themselves like almost day to day, even changing and losing words, forgetting appointments, just not being able to stay on task. Again, back to this like new, highlight of ADHD and, potentiality for that, sure. But sometimes we actually need to look more at that sex hormone piece.
Okay. Well, you did mention, and as all of us know, stress is a big impactor on our health and well being.